I rise in support of House Bill 6682, and I rise not in opposition to hardworking auto dealers of this state, auto dealers who are heavily invested and committed to our communities, auto dealers who I remember sponsored my Little League baseball team when I was trying to learn how to hit a curveball as a 7th grader. But I rise in support, Mr. Speaker, of innovation, and I rise in support of the possibilities of the future. Mr. Speaker, Isaac Asimov is considered the father of science fiction, a genre dreamt of by writers, and we're learning very quickly, made reality by brilliant scientists and engineers. Mr. Asimov predicted that through his Foundation series that one day we would be living in a cosmic civilization. And today we have companies that are privatizing space. Mr. Asimov believed that one day technology and robotics would be fused with intelligence. And we're learning today the great possibility being on the verge of artificial intelligence being integrated into our society. Mr. Speaker, Isaac Asimov also predicted that one day vehicles with robot brains can be set for particular destinations that will then proceed there without interference by slow reflexes of a human driver. In but a few months' time, Tesla Motors will have a program downloaded into their Model S that allows a driver to take their hands off a wheel as a computer system safely navigates a highway route. These are truly unbelievable times. Mr. Speaker, we've seen some of the numbers, that there have been no projected job losses in the states that have allowed Tesla to sell their cars directly to consumers. But more than the data at hand, I think we need to get and wrap our minds around the difficulty in creating not just a car company, but an American car company that is American sourced and built to scale during one of the greatest recessions in American history. And they're doing so in the face of great special interest. They are making a car that doesn't run on fossil fuels. Something we thought was only fantasy not 10 years ago. Mr. Speaker, this company, the private sector, has taken on incredible risk in offering us, the public, a product I believe we need dearly, which is an alternative to the combustible engine on our roads and highways. But not only are they offering that product, Mr. Speaker, but through their business model, they are helping the public understand a very difficult paradigm of transportation. They are just as much, in my opinion, after listening to hours and hours of public hearing testimony, an evangelist for a new way of transportation, using an electric vehicle that utilizes in our minds, at first glance, a far-fetched but actually practical way of charging a vehicle across our interstates and across during our commutes. They're addressing the anxiety that the average consumer might have in considering transitioning from a combustible engine, from their typical ways of filling up their tank to then using supercharging stations across the state. This company is just as much an evangelist of a new paradigm of transportation as they are a car manufacturer. I'm going to close by offering my opinion. The private sector is solving a problem. very often, and I haven't been here for not 5 months, but we tend to disagree on how we should be solving society's issues. Is it government's responsibility? Is it the private sector's responsibility? We're burning a lot of fossil fuels in this world, in this planet. And the private sector has offered us a solution. They believe that one day we will all be driving electric vehicles. And I applaud them, and I thank them for taking on that risk. But in this case, I don't believe it is only the private sector that can solve that problem. I believe we have an opportunity to help educate the public by allowing this company, who has taken on a great deal of risk, to offer their product and offer their vision to the people of Connecticut. And I think we have the opportunity to partner with them and make a small adjustment in a decades-old law without losing the trust and destroying jobs of hard-working auto dealers who serve our communities very well. And I think we should do that. I think we should allow them to do what they do best, to create jobs, and in this case, educate the public on a very complicated and paradigm-shifting model. And in doing so, move our society forward, take a step into the future, and embrace this mind-boggling and incredibly exciting piece of technology. Mr. Speaker, I would ask my colleagues to remain open-minded in this very sensitive and mind-stretching debate and choose innovation on this vote. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I appreciate the time to share my thoughts on the matter.